So for those that find it difficult to understand Java syntax, because this is the thing that most of the time that make people drop Java from learning it because they don't understand the syntax. So in this tutorial, I'm going to be explaining everything about this hello word and more about what is the use of all these things or this. Because once you understand this small hello word, you'll be able to continue learning Java without having an issue and you'll be able to enjoy it because Java is not hard. What makes Java hard is that people don't actually explain what all this all about. They'll be saying you will learn it later. And what you don't understand, how are you going to continue learning things more and more without understanding what you are doing? If you can't even write hello word by yourself, if you can't even understand what all this are all about, how are you going to understand bigger things in it? So let me explain this thing in few minutes. So in Java, you mostly see this thing. So why are they creating this thing? Why are they creating this thing? Because we just want to create hello world. And the purpose is that the way they create Java, uh, it is not like other language. It is only create to focus on objective oriented pattern. So they don't want you to program in procedural way. They don't want you to program like a Python or PHP that you can write ordinary code without using object structure. So in Java you have to follow the objective structure. That is why. So and if you have worked with any other language before, you will understand that creating a class, you must put public for the class to be accessed by other class. So the purpose of putting this public is that when a compiler wants to check our code, it will first go to the this main method, and any class that have main method, it will collect the main and ask any code that is inside the main method and execute it. Any other code that is not inside the main method, the Java will not execute it. So that is the purpose of this main. We always see this main anytime we want to create any file, any Java, or anytime we are doing tutorial, we always see this main. The purpose of this main is this main, small letter main, is that anytime Java want to run your code, it won't go to other file, it won't go to the class, it will first go to the any class that have this main method. And if you go through all your files and doesn't see any class that have this main method, it will prompt out error. So if you see anyone that have this main method, it will now believe that okay, this main method, what do you have inside? So anything that is inside the main method is going to be executed. Anything that is not inside the main method will be ignored in your Java file. So that is the purpose of this main. It's like creating a HTML file, HTML, let's say website, and having index.html. If you want to enter the website, the first page to enter is index.html. So everything that is inside this index.html is going to be rendered to the people. So from that index.html, you can now locate to another website. From that website, locate to another website. But without having index.html in HTML website, you cannot locate to another file. That is the purpose of this main. This main is to create ability for you to for Java to understand that this is all the code that you want me to execute because Java doesn't know your mind. So that is the main purpose of this main method. So this void mean that this main method is not going to return any value. Any method in Java that you put void is that I'm not going to return any value. If you put string, that means the method is going to return value. So, but in this hello world, you must not put anything. You must write it like this because if you put string, we don't want this main to return any value. It is the work of Java to understand this main. It is a compulsory to write it in this way. So it is just like a normal thing. You don't need to change this food to another thing because we don't want this main to return any value. You can create a method. Let's say let me create a method. Um, void food um system.out.print food type You see, I create a method and I pass food. That means I tell the Java that this method is not going to return anything. So that is what I'm creating now. If I want this method to return anything, I may put string. You can use any method type like string, like int, like boolean, the type of what you want the method to return. So let me show you the difference between this food and the string. So let me put public. You may even ignore it and say, let me instantiate it, because if you want to call a method inside this main method, because as I told you earlier, this main method is to let Java know that everything inside me should be executed. So I want Java to execute this fold if they run my Java application. So I will have to instantiate this method inside this our main class. So I will say main new method. You can write any name. It is a variable that is used to store an object. So, so you can write any name. You can give it any name you want. Instantiating. Then after that, you have already instantiated this new main like this. We assign the main to this new. So what we have to do is to call the method that we have inside our class. So we say dot the method fold. Right now, everything is fine. So let us check the code. It's slow a little bit because my system is slow. So I'm sorry for that. You see, I'm full type. Hello Java is not hard. So that is the work of this fold. This fold is not going to return anything, but it's going to work. It's going to do what you tell it to do. So let me assume that I want to return to show you that it's not going to return anything. I want to return hey, I'm here. I put this next line so that it will give a next line. You see, there is error automatically. Does it cannot return a value from okay, let me run it and show you. If you are using any code editor to show you compatible type unexpected to return value, yes, that's it. Because void method is not going to return any value. It is not made to return any value. That is the purpose of void there. So if you see this void there, it is to tell the Java that okay, this method that we are creating is not going to return any value. So all these things that we are seeing here are something that is giving the method what is going to do, what is all about, the information about the method. That is all this thing all about. So let me move to let me now do string for you. This string, let us run string. And before you show return, return is not print. You have to pass this inside print, because return is not print. Return and print are different. Printing is to print in console. Return is to return a value without printing it. So let us check our work. As you can see, it return hey, I'm here. So that's the difference between this fold and other. String is also there, int is also there, boolean is also there. You can return any value depend on the type of method that you create. So that is the work of this fold. What is the work of this static? So what is the work of this static? Static is to let our Java know that this type of method that I'm creating, I don't want people to instantiate it. I want it to be called direct. That's what the work of static. Let me show you. When we are creating this, we first instantiate, assign this to this variable here, which taking object. So if you add static to our method right now, it won't it won't be necessary to instantiate anything. You can just call the method anytime you want. That is work of static. Static is to give you the ability to call your method without instantiating it. That's the work of static. Okay, let us put static here and see what will happen. Now, you see, now, food. Let me call food direct. You see, no error. There's no error that show. See, you can call the method without instantiating it. That is work of static. So, you see, hey, I'm here. If you don't put static, we cannot call it without instantiating it. We have to do what? We have to instantiate it before calling it. But what is static? Static is to tell the compiler that, okay, this method I'm creating, I want people to use it without instantiating it. I don't want them to stress at all. So what is the use of this public? Public is it's to let Java know that, to let Java compiler know that this kind of method that I create, I want it to be used by all other class. That's the work of this public. I want it to be used by all other class. Let me create one class and give you as and make it an example and show you the difference between this public example. So let me do like this. Let me import it for us to use it. Or do I need to import? Okay. So let me create one method. This method exactly, so that we will be on track. Let me put it inside there. So this public. So let's come here. Let us import this. Import example. Maybe they are in the same place. Okay. Why is oh sorry, I don't need to import it. So what's the difference between this public and other modifier? They call it modifier, but let me just put it as an how can I put it, like information. Yes, information about the method. All these things are information about class, information about method. Just have it in mind that there's an information about method. So you see that, let me put public like this and let us run it. It work perfect. Yes. So what if I put private? You see, there's error immediate. As private access example, there's error immediate. Let me run it and show you the error so that you can understand the difference. As a private access in example. So that's the difference between private, public. We even have protected. So let me run this protected and show you. You see, protected work because we import it direct on underground, so protected work. So and actually we have private, we have public, we have protected, we have other too. It's not final. Final is to make your work constant. It is a way to make your method constant so that they won't manipulate it, they won't change it in the future. So what that is work of um static. We have other type of way to tell Java that this is information about the method, this is what it can do, this is what it cannot do, this is what it should do, this is what it should not do. So that is the work of this public. So right now I think you understand what this about this fold. This fold is to tell Java that I'm not going to return value. If you want me to return value, I can change myself to string, int, boolean, or float. This static is to say I don't want to be instantiate. I want to be called direct. So if you want me to be instantiate, you remove me. This public is to tell Java that okay, I have the ability to be used by any class. But if you don't want me to be used by any class, you can turn me to private. So that is the work of this public. So I think you know that you can realize that all this thing that was written in Java Hello World is not useless. So let me now show you this parameter here. Why are they here? Let me show you the example. Let me return our food here. So let's continue on our food as a sample because I think this one will be very easy to understand to pick. So parameter is a way of giving a method information that can use to do more thing, that can use to process more thing. Like imagine I create a method food and I say okay this food I want to create this method of food so that I won't be creating the method of food again. So I want the method to be saying, hey, I am this so type of food. So how can we do that kind of things? Because I don't want to be writing it again. I want it to be like anytime I call this food and I pass in one thing, one value, it's going to write it for me without rewriting it. So that is why parameter exists. Parameter is a way of passing value to method so that they can use it to process some data. They can use it to process some rows to do some things. So if you want to create a parameter, you pass a parameter through the parentheses. So you say maybe parameter one. You can name parameter any type of parameter, but if you are creating parameter, you have to do what? You have to tell the Java the parameter type. If it is string you want to be passing, you tell the Java the parameter type. It is string. If it is integer, you tell the parameter that you tell Java that it is integer. Any type of data type that you want to pass, you have to tell Java that this is the type of data that they will be passing through this method that I create. So if I now want to call this, let me call it in different time. So I will now pass you the argument. If you want to pass data into the created function, like the created method, we call it argument. But if you are creating the method, we call it parameter. So you'll be hearing parameter, argument. They are not different, but the word is different. The word is that when you are creating the method, you call it parameter. When you are passing the value to the method, you call it argument. So let me pass rice here. Let me pass beans. Let me pass fufu. Yeah. Okay. So I'm using sorry for that. I haven't deleted the class file, so it thinks it is from the class and it is from this place. So you see now the parameter has been passed. So let us check our method. Come on, you see? Oh, oh, sorry. I tell it to return a value without getting the value that is going to add. So what we are going to do, we're going to do what? We're going to concatenate. So we're going to do what? We're going to add a param. So if you want to get the value of the parameter, the value of the parameter that they pass, just copy the name and do what and use to do what you want to do. You can add it, you can use it as um a mathematics stuff, you can use it as different type of things that you want. Once you collect this this variable name, you can use it to do anything and to work perfect. So let us check it again. Oh, I'm so sorry. So sorry. I'm making a mistake on that. So A I'm rice, A I'm beans, A I'm fufu. You see? So instead of us to be repeating ourselves, we do what? We just create a function, the method, and we pass in the parameter there. When we want to call it, we just call in it. We just call in it and it's do the work for us. That is work of method. Actual work of method is to eliminate the writing of code, and the work of parameter is to give us the ability to pass value to the method. And even there is a way to pass value to class too, but that is another topic. If you want me to talk to work to explain deeper on that, I can do that. So I think seeing hello world in Java is not scary anymore after this. I think it's not scary anymore. Java is not hard, and all the long code that they write in Java, it is not useless. It is because it is very important to write. It have meaning. It is useful. It is not useless. So learning Java after this, I think it will be very easy for you. I think you will learn it with confidence now. I think when they are talking about everything, you understand it because you have already understand what all these are all about. The basics is the problem. So thank you for taking your time. Don't forget to subscribe if you actually like the way I explained. Don't forget to subscribe, like, or share. That will help me a lot. Thank you.